This is Lucy Polgar from Last Bastion, sponsored by Fight Division. I'm here with the legend Anthony Crolla. Thank you so much for chatting to us. First things first, we've just watched James, who you're coaching. Unbelievable performance. So second round knockout. You must be, as a coach, not much more you can ask for.
I'm super proud of him. Super proud of him. James, I always say what he lacks for in talent, he makes up for hard work.
Yeah.
The trouble with James, as you probably know, is making him listen, making him stay focused. He's mad as a box of frogs, but he lives it, and he's the hardest trainer in the gym. He is, and I have to hold him back at times. But I knew the fight tonight was going to be very nip and tuck, and I said, James, I just need you to stay composed. Your moment will come. It'll probably be after 3 or 4 rounds. And then your moment will start coming to take. But thankfully, he caught Nathan with a fantastic shot in the second, and that was it.
Yeah, unbelievable. And the way he was able to follow it through, because he sort of almost tried to create distance again, and then he turned around and saw that he'd rattled him straight back in.
Nathan's legs had gone, and it was a lovely uppercut. He hit him with a left hook, I think, to make sure, and then caught him on the way down. But just one of those, very nip and tuck before that, but the shot that finished it, I've watched it back, it was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. So there was a lot of talk about the difference in sort of how they've come about it. Obviously James didn't have the big amateur build up and everything. And I think in one of his interviews previous, somebody else had said that got in his head more than anything else. So it didn't really affect his ability, but mentally that seemed to bother him up until a certain point. But whatever doubt there was now, that's completely gone tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's mad. When James first come to me, it was like he'd never been to watch the ABAs. He didn't know what they was. He didn't know what amateur championships was. So it was like madness to think his experience was fighting in nightclubs, white collar, or unlicensed. I don't even call it white collar, unlicensed. Just absolutely mental. And it's mad. In the space of 2 weeks, I've had one of his best friends, Rhiannon Dixon, win a Commonwealth lightweight title, who had no amateur experience. I've had James tonight, live on Channel 5, his own, with that kind of exposure, win this eliminator. And yourself, he's a brilliant lad, and I'm made up for him. There's not a bad bone in his body, so I see what it means to him, and it's nights like this why I'm involved as a coach.
Yeah, I've just said that to him. I've just managed to grab him for an interview now and said, he's just such a genuine guy. It's impossible not to love him.
He's balmy. He's balmy. Even when he's getting his hands around Nathan's coach, he's there and he's just laughing at him. He just don't show up. But I'm going to go see him tonight back at his local, have one with him, and then don't want to see him for a bit.
Well, he definitely had the crowd behind him tonight. It's so nice to see a local lad doing so well. So the next stage for him now is title shot. So what's the plan for that? Had you been planning for that sort of in advance before tonight?
It was a final eliminator tonight, so now it's mandatory for the English title, which that fight takes place between Danny Ball and Andy Tomlinson.
Yeah.
Danny Ball, Anthony Tomlinson, that takes place in May. So James is then in line to fight the winner.
Yeah.
So I believe will be his next fight, unless a different offer comes up. But I think that'll be his next fight.
Yeah.
And they're two good lads. It's like Nathan was. Hopefully he keeps improving, and that'll be a great fight as well.
Yeah. So I'd seen that as well in a previous interview. I didn't manage to catch him on it on this time, but he was basically saying it doesn't matter who. So his mindset is very much I'll just go for, if the summit comes up before, if it's one of them two, whatever it is, I'm just going for it. Is that always his mindset with it?
He is. James, honestly, I could tell James to fight the Anthony Joshua.
And he'd go for it.
Yes, I'm down to Will, do you know what I mean? Well, he is a joy to train, do you know what I mean? He's hard work at times, but it's a pleasure to train. And like I say, when I was said then, I see when he got into boxing, he probably couldn't have imagined nights like this. So it's great to see him. Good things happen to good people sometimes. And
I love that. That's such a good things happen to good people. I love that. So just quickly before I let you go, just talking a little bit about your career. So you'd had obviously an amazing career, but you did also experience some really down moments, not in just the career, but in your personal life as well. You were saying having to see fighters stretch it off and suffered a fractured skull yourself, and being told that you wouldn't be able to go for the World Championships and stuff. So really, really tense, harsh moments like that build such resilience. So you've got that experience. How do you sort of share that with someone like James, who's just young and giddy?
Well, that's it. A time my career was a real roller coaster, and James is he's had ups and downs, and since he's come with us, I believe he's really improved. I really do. He had one night where he lost against John Miguel, who's fighting for the European title next, and I said to him, James, in Spain, but he gave a great account of himself early on, and his inexperience cost him where things weren't going his way. He started sort of arguing with the ref, and then he come away from the game plan. Said against a very good fight, but that night I said, James, all right, it was a great learning fight for you, and he's become a better boxer from that, which everyone says. And I remember being in the changing room and he's upset and his hands went, James, listen, it's meant to hurt. It's meant to hurt. So I'm not going to say, don't worry about it, because I know. And if you was here laughing and joking, I'd be like, nah, it's not good. It's meant to hurt. But do you know what? Tomorrow we're talking. Or till later that night we talked, and I went, but that's going to bring you on so much. Your first time on the big stage, and you was giving a great account of yourself, so you got a little bit carried away against a very good fighter. You will come again.
I love that, and he did say that as well. To be fair, like he said that it was just maybe it was a step too far for him at the time. He's here now, look at him, and that he did learn a lot from it. So those dark moments, obviously, they do serve a purpose. But tonight, luckily, all victory, all smiles. He's buzzing now. He's just been dancing away. He's still, I know, he's loving it. So just quickly before we let you go, obviously the main card tonight, Lyndon Arthur. Opponent change, very last minute for him. What do you think? Do you think that's going to affect him?
I know Boris as well. Obviously, Lyndon, bear in mind, he's a Manchester lad, and I expect him to come through and get the job done. But it must be hard to be fighting for a world title and then having to come down. But Boris is a capable fighter, so he's got to be switched on. Like I say, Boris is capable. So with that, but I expect Lyndon after 3-4 rounds. I expect him, unless he catches him early because he can be sharp. I expect him to come through it. But like I say, Boris, I know him well, and he's a capable fighter.
What are you saying? Are you saying stoppage or go in the distance?
You'd think so. Boris coming in this lane, we should expect Lyndon to do it inside the distance.
Well, congratulations. Obviously, go and enjoy the night with James. I'm sure he's going to make it a wild one for you. Thank you so much for giving us the time as well. It's lovely to meet you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Here we go.